Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel or welcome to the channel if you're new. So today we are going to be talking about how to install Visual Studio on your machine. This can also work more or less for a Mac, so if you're on a Mac then don't worry. This can help you still, I think. But yeah, it's a worthwhile video to watch if you want to know more about VS in a little more detail. So let's just start by going to the Visual Studio website. And this is the website. It looks fabulous, by the way. Like if you see the web development side, it looks fabulous. So you go in visualstudio.microsoft.com. This is the website name, and under that you find a website, right? It basically tells you about Visual Studio, basically new features of Visual Studio such as C++20. Oh my god. So but what we are concerned with is Meet the Visual Studio family. This section basically has the three Visual Studio tools or softwares, you can say. So we are going to be concerned about Visual Studio and maybe even Visual Studio for Mac. I've never used Mac before, so I don't really know how it will work in like detail. But I'm going to show you this mostly, but I think it can still apply for Mac. And then we have VS Code. This is more of a flexible text editor, more of a code editor that you can actually add extensions to, and you can make it work with different languages such as C++, Python. But so it does not really have any inbuilt functionality, like a lot of it. It has basic things such as IntelliSense, but does not have a lot of built-in functionality. So you have to do extensions for this. But today we are going to be installing this. So just hover over this and you see three options: community, professional, and enterprise. So if you want to know the difference about these, I have left a link in the description. So I'm just going to click on community right now. Sorry for my pronunciation if that's bad. I don't know at this point, man. So it will download. It's not a really big file, so you can just open this. Yes, say yes. Now it will show you the Visual Studio installer installation process, right? Like, I know it's confusing. It's Visual Studio installers installer, right? Like, so Visual Studio installers, I will show you in a second. Like, it's the hub of Visual Studio. I will show you that in a second. And now it has actually downloaded and installed everything, and it's getting. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now it's actually giving me an update. I'm just gonna close this for now. Alright, so I already have the community version. If you do not have the community version already, or if you have selected one of these, you're gonna see something like this. You're gonna see a window like that, something like that. So where you can select all the components you want, and the components that you don't want, you can just deselect them, of course. Right, there are many components here actually, for game development, for app development, for mobile app development, for web development, and for the plugin development, or the extensions, you might say. So these are for the web development, again I said, and the cloud development, of course. So Azure is for cloud development. ASP.NET is more for like web development thing. Node.js, and there's Python. Then we have the desktop and mobile section where you have the mobile development with .NET and .NET desktop development. So these two for .NET. Then we have C++ development, so mobile development and desktop. I think these I tried this ones, especially the mobile development. It's not very easy. I think it's better to go with mobile development with .NET, but you can go with C++ if you want. And by the way, just to mention that .NET actually has C Sharp, Visual Basic, and F Sharp as the main languages. Alright, then we have the, oh wait, one's left. Then we have UWP, which is Universal Windows Platform. This is basically, as far as I understand this is basically for compatibility stuff, I guess. It's like, it basically is a framework such as like architecture like .NET, but it's UWP. I'm not really knowledgeable about UWP. I will leave some links in the description where you can read more about this. But it's basically you can like select a version of Windows for which you want to target software for. So that's one of the features of UWP. That's pretty cool. And then we have a gaming section, and who does not love games? So if you want to make your own games, then you can choose one of these. So we have game development with Unity, and like if you're working with Unity, if you select this option, I'll have to say they did a good job with this. Like, great, all right. Like it gives you really good code completions, and it's just incredible. Then we have game development with C++, which is basically used with DirectX, Unreal, and Cocos 2D. Plus, mostly, I think people will mostly use it for Unreal Engine. And then we have the other tools. I have no experience about these, but I'll still try to explain them. So this is data storage stuff, basically, for example, data storage with SQL and stuff, Azure Data Lake, and Hadoop. I literally heard that thing for the first time. I don't know, but okay. Then we have data science and analytical applications using Python and F Sharp. And then we have Visual Studio Extension development, which is literally the most understandable thing, at least for me, in the other tool sets. I literally do not understand much about these. I have a data science course coming up in a few weeks, I think. And then maybe I'll be able to explain this more. Then we have Office slash SharePoint development. Okay, so we have Office slash SharePoint development. Then we can in which we can create the add-ins for Office or SharePoint. Then we have Linux and embedded development in C++, which is basically developing C++ applications running in a Linux environment. Whew, that was a lot of talk. So now you know what every single component does. All right. Now let's go to the individual component section. I'm not going to read every single one of them. Okay, that's a lot of. Wait. I never looked at it like this. Oh my god. That's a lot of components. Anyways, I get distracted really easily. Okay. So in the individual components, we have all of the individual components, of course, as the name suggests. So basically in the workloads, if you see, then you have the installation details, which, not that. So basically it shows you all the options that you can choose, such as Python 3 interpreter, the native development tools, the web support for Python, the live share for Python, and the cloud services, Azure, of course. In individual components, you can basically select all of this, but in a little more detail. This is really overwhelming, I know, but if you really want a specific component, you can see, such as an important component. If you want to work with C++, then it's CLI. Yes, CLI. So I have just selected this one. This basically allows you to work with WinForms and stuff. You can also explore around with others of these. Next, we have the language packs. So we have English, French, German, and all of the languages that you have, like Chinese and stuff. I never really understood the difference between these, but yeah, you have all of these languages you can select from. If you're French, you can select French. You can also select multiple languages if you want. I'm not going to do that actually. Then we have the installation locations. So this basically shows you where you want to install Visual Studio, as the name suggests. For you, you would be able to actually edit these locations. I cannot because I've already installed them. So keep that in mind. If you want to change the location of your installation, you have to uninstall Visual Studio, and then you have to reinstall it again. Then you have the download cache. Basically stores all of the packages that are installed. So all of these components that are installed. So it basically stores the temporary files for installation, and then you can also keep it after the installation so that you can actually use those packages to install those components again. So basically this location is this. If you open it in the file explorer, it has all of the packages. You don't really need this for Visual Studio to function, but this is really good if you want to install something again. So you can actually make use of these packages. So in the path, you have firstly a main drive. In this case, it's the C drive. Then program data, then Microsoft, then Visual Studio and packages, just like this one. Alright, then we have the shared components, tools, and SDKs. So I know more about like SDKs, I can tell you that. The shared components, I think, are the shared components, the shared tools that are shared across multiple Visual Studio versions, I think. So if you install the enterprise version, let's say, so there are some there's some data, there are some components that are common between them. So Visual Studio will basically use this location to store them. And I think that's finally it for the VS installation. VS is, if you don't know, Visual Studio, VS. So then we have the installation option. So we have the install while downloading option and the download all then install option. So you can select one of those. So download all then install option is for the slower connections, I guess. You can see that. Yes, it's for slower connections. And normally you can just choose this. This should be faster if you have an internet connection that's good enough. So basically for the people who are installing this for the first time, you'll have an install button. You just click on that. So maybe like I just modify something. Let's say I want to do Node.js. I just click that. So total space required is 47 MB for this extra element that I just selected. So I can just click on modify or install, and then it will start to install my Visual Studio community, VS community, you can say. Now the speed of this totally depends on your internet connection. My internet connection is questionable, but it's pretty good. But actually, see, it's picking up great. It's not questionable. Oh, it was 69 for a second. That's great. Guys, you saw that number? Guys. Anyways, so it will then take a while after 99%. Then after installing, it takes a while after 99%. It has took, like, I still remember once it took hours. So after the installation is complete at 99%, it will basically just finish up, clean up stuff. So this may take a while, and it's already done. So it depends. It depends on your hardware. It basically depends on your hardware. On your hardware, of course. Alright, now we have successfully installed Visual Studio. If you want to modify anything, you just click on this modify button and you can add components to your installation, just like I did with the Node.js development. Why do I add the before everything? Like, I should stop this. Anyways, then you can click on this button to launch it, and under more we have download then update first, which is basically just like this. Which is basically just like install while downloading and download all then install, basically like that. Then we have the basic repair and uninstall options, and then we have configurations. So configuration, if you don't know, it's basically just like you have all of the settings in Visual Studio, such as your shortcuts, your layout, like how you have laid out the windows and stuff. So for me it's something like this. I'll just show you in a second. So for me it's something like this. So I have a solution explorer, then git changes, and the class view. So I have something like this, and then I have the output, error list, and the task list sections. So basically just this configuration, and then you can export this and just copy it to another computer and import it, so that all the like shortcuts, all of the layout, all of the settings, they will all be imported there. Finally, that's it. How to install Visual Studio on your machine. In the next video maybe I will cover how to install VS Code, and how to set it up for basic environments such as C++ and stuff. Maybe make a video on that. But for today, that's it. If you like the video, then do hit the like button, share this video if someone needs it, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget that I need a bigger number in the front of my name. It feeds my ego, okay? So that's it for today, and I'm out.